I'm going to be talking about how to do brand outreach with your VAs. So this is a topic for anybody who has a pet brand and trying to do well. It's for anybody who has a pet UGC expertise. So if you're a pet UGC creator and trying to figure out a way for how to do brand outreach, but struggling to do this on your own, not finding much time to do it on your own, and wanted to do this with a virtual assistant while superpowering your virtual assistants with AI, then this is something that you want to hear this workshop. So there's obviously a couple of things that I discovered, guys, and this is very interesting. What I discovered, what I discovered is there's certain things when you start niching in into specific areas of whatever it is that you're doing. So let's say if your niche is pet UGC and you just happen to be a pet UGC creator and you wanted to, you have a bunch of pets, cats and dogs, and you wanted to create content, you wanted to collab with brands, and you wanted to make money and get that on a retainer uh, on a monthly basis plus commission as extra gravy. The question is, how do you do brand outreach to strike deals with those brands, and how do you do it in a way where you're not overwhelmed, and what does it look like? What does it look like, that entire brand outreach, from the perspective of you being kind of the orchestrator as a pet UGC creator, and your virtual assistant in Philippines, in combination with your conversational AI, um, in combination with a Freedom Fusion System CRM, being that kind of a person who together as part of a human and a AI doing things for you, doing an outreach. How does it work? So this is something that I created a workshop before, showing you guys how to do brand outreach, and kind of talking about technical ways for how to do this like manually. So this way you do this manually initially, identify people on Instagram, and then just pop them into CRM, include them all in Notion, and then pop them into CRM, Freedom Fusion System CRM, and begin doing an outreach. That's all good and great, but how does it look like from the pet brand in your virtual assistants and AI? Like this is a very niche topic, guys. Believe it or not, before I even started creating this workshop, I spoke with ChatGPT and I was like, look, how come I literally talked to ChatGPT and I was like, look, give me some examples where people are doing outreach, pet UGC outreach to brands. Like literally give me some examples, show me some videos where people literally show you how to do that. And you know what? It couldn't find any. It couldn't find any. So I was like, wow, that's a heck of a niche that nobody, like, that there is no videos out there. So I was like, am I the only person who is possibly talking about this stuff? And of course, guys, like when you create content, obviously just kind of remember, uh, make that as a clue for yourself. If you try to do something and you're asking ChatGPT specific questions and it can't find it, there's a good chance that you like really discovered something really powerful, and you could literally just proceed and create your own video describing it in terms of what you discovered, and make it a video right away, and it's gonna be like perfect, because a lot of people are searching for the same type of questions and on ChatGPT, and you will be the first one. Your video gonna be the first one that's gonna pop up. So anyway, I'm gonna cover this whole brand outreach. You probably already know the mechanical steps for how to reach out to people manually. You already probably seen lots of my workshops for how to use Go High Level and whatnot. So I'm not gonna be talking too much about the technical stuff, because there's a lot of videos out there that covers the technical stuff. But what I will say is, you could use virtual assistant in combination with iPhone automations that have all the entire brand context built in. And when you use your virtual assistant, that virtual assistant is essentially going to be reaching out to people. Now, the whole process of reaching out to brands does have to do with a couple of like identifying certain criteria for, first of all, who to reach out to. So this way, your virtual assistant doesn't end up wasting a lot of time reaching out to brands that really are not on your radar, that you shouldn't really be reaching out in the first place, because they're tire kickers and they're just going to be wasting your VA's time. Like, so there's that stage for how to identify that. And there is a tool called Clay that you could use that literally combines sort of like scraping of multiple accounts on Instagram and makes it easy for you to, from like multi-dimensional perspective, pre-qualify brands to see if you should even be engaging with them in the first place. Now, the most important part for you guys to understand is right now, guys, by the way, thank you for joining and allocating a little bit of your time and saying hello. I know we're heading out right now. I'm actually heading out to get a little bit of chicken, and I'm tapping into the new strategy, new marketing strategy that I'm using, guys. I'm picking extremely niche oriented topics that literally don't exist on ChatGPT or anywhere if you search through it, and I'm covering those topics. And this is one of those things that's been working for me, that I noticed quite heavily, because I realized a lot of people are hungry for, like, they don't really, what I discovered is a lot of moms over 40, luxury pet moms over 40, the UGC types of moms, they're really overwhelmed. They don't really want to be sitting there like communicating with people on Instagram. They got a business to run, not a dating profile. That's basically the reality. So it drives them nuts doing like all those things that the platforms want you to do. But the truth is, platforms, they have those conditions where you got to be like a process prisoner, sitting there and responding, and like when you try to do outreach, if you do too much, you could get banned real quick. And that's why you don't see a lot of people actually showing you how to do this in an automated way, and everybody's being like hush hush about it. But guess what? I discovered a way for how to like do everything, whatever is in your brain, or whatever it is that you are so good at in terms of being that pet mom over 40, and wanting to connect with brands, wanting to make money on a monthly basis as a retainer plus commission as extra gravy, but really don't want to be doing all this work of kind of reaching out to brands and feeling all sorts of, like, I don't know, sleazy or whatever that feeling you get when you trying to, like, as if you're trying to sell something. You guys know what I'm talking about. So like, I thought about it. What can I do in terms of me not doing that at all? And how can I pass information of me being me without really like getting that information lost in the process? How can I pass that to a virtual assistant who can just do everything that's in my mind that I want that virtual assistant to do, and do that brand outreach while combining AI in a process? So this way, when they start communicating and doing the outreach in a way that socials like, in a way where I'm no longer wasting any time doing any kind of outreach, but at the same time, those VAs having an understanding what to say, how to say it, and do so consistently. So this was one of the challenges that I realized, and to solve that problem, my talent agency whipped out a bunch of Freedom Fusion automations. Those are specific automations that are that have entire brand, like my entire pet UGC brand context, my entire goal of what I want to do, but baked in directly inside of those mobile friendly automations that run directly on your iPhone, that your virtual assistant can literally execute with just a quick notification from CloudBot that literally can keep track of whatever it is that your virtual assistant is doing, and getting that data from them. So this way, you're not getting duped on any of those platforms and paying insane amount of money for like $25, $35 per hour on those virtual assistants. Instead, you're going to be leveraging virtual assistants from Philippines for like literally $1 per hour, $2 per hour, in combination with virtual assistants, in combination with those AI virtual assistants that are baked in directly into the iPhone. The only thing with those, when you start leveraging Filipino VAs or anything like this, you have to like realize that some of them don't have an iPhone. So obviously the ones with an iPhone will be a little bit more expensive, but I highly recommend leveraging VAs that have an iPhone and who can run those Freedom Fusion automations directly on those phones and begin engaging. But the process of engaging is no longer where you have to explain things to VA, like, oh, how to engage, what do you got to say. All of this is baked in directly inside of the automation, and VA just follows exactly what the automation guides them through the whole. Like, you get a bunch of pop-ups popping up on an iPhone, and CloudBot invokes the automation, and virtual assistants simply just get guided in the process of reaching out to all of those brands, and those brands getting constantly scraped through Clay. This is one of those tools that combines sort of like Apify scraping in combination with like tables, and again, and at least you're gonna have this multi-dimensional data set that will show you like, okay, here's the brands who are actually collabing with PetUGC creators. Here's the brands that are like worthy for my virtual assistant to reach out, and my CloudBot is controlling all of that and getting output from those automations to see, how receptive those people were, those brands, when they were communicating with VAs. And not only that, but the cool part about it, you already seen previous workshops where I talked about conversational AI and how you could bake that in directly into responses, because effectively what's going to be happening, your virtual assistant is going to be reaching out using Freedom Fusion automations directly from an iPhone, so this way it's all in compliance with social media, and it looks like it's coming from an actual person versus a bot. But it's effectively you wanna have VA hand it off to your conversational AI entire conversation, and not just a conversational AI bot, but double conversational AI bot that engages with the lead in a kind of a slow way manner, sort of like a human, and the virtual assistant passes on, like transfers that brand to that conversational AI bot that is very good in terms of answering all sorts of questions for what the brand would want to know about, like what kind of pet UGC services you offer. And in your particular case, you would be offering, once again, guys, when I work with pet UGC moms over 40, my goal for them is to completely remove themselves out of the picture and have a bunch of people do everything while you just make money in between. That's basically what I specialize in, making it really easy for pet moms over 40, pet UGC moms over 40, have some of those systems for their brands that just kind of operate on their own. So anything that I recommend, guys, I make it in a direction of like, in a way where you're not overwhelmed, in a way where you have a bunch of virtual assistants just kind of doing that, and going back and forth between between the conversational AI bots and the voice bots. So there's a couple of ways to structure all of this. With conversational AI bots, the cool part about it, it's no longer like static kind of way where you say if this then that kind of thing and trying to cook your brain to figure out what the person wants, and if you say one thing wrong, then all of a sudden you lose a lead, and like in every decision, every branch feels super stressful. No, not anymore, guys. With conversational AI, you could solve this problem by leveraging, by like mapping out the entire tree and having the elements of non-determinism while still having deterministic workflows, which is absolutely bonkers. This is something that you get directly out of Freedom Fusion System CRM. something that your virtual assistants would be part of. And effectively, your virtual assistant would be doing this outreach manually at a lot cheaper cost versus paying like $25, $35 per hour for VAs in Upwork. And effectively, what you're going to be offering to those brands is a couple of things. Number one, obviously, your pet UGC services in terms of how many videos you could create, how you could level up their brand, and I have separate videos for that, for how to do that, how to convince brands to pick you, because it goes beyond just showing them your portfolio. It goes so much deeper than that. And of course, there's a workshop also where I show you how to create that Notion template for all of those brands and then feed them into the CRM, the Freedom Fusion System CRM, and have VA consistently reach out to each of the individual brands on a regular basis with a personalized message and tracking and everything, in relationship to like CloudBot, everything being tracked, where you could communicate with CloudBot and say, look, I need to check on my VAs, make sure that they reached out to a bunch of brands. And of course, the way CloudBot works, it would instantiate Freedom Fusion automations directly from VA's iPhones. So VAs, they're going to be notified exactly like, oh, go ahead and do this. Go ahead and jump on TikTok. Go ahead and jump on Threads. Go ahead and when one of those automations gets invoked, like Threads Pet Automator or TikTok Pet Automator, you guys already seen all those automations on my channel. VA simply just follows what this automation tells it to do directly on a phone, which is absolutely bonkers. It's beautiful. I haven't seen anybody, not a single video on the internet, that literally bridges the world between mobile automations, between pet UGC creator moms over 40 who wants to become that orchestrator avatar style of mom over 40 who really don't want to be like creating content, really don't want to be like in a situation where you need to reach out and do an outreach or do all this, play the games of socials to appease their to appease the interests of others in any way, shape, and form, and be in a way like that orchestrator who just kind of does things, creates more, being like a thought leader versus process prisoner in terms of constantly executing things. And this is the reason why I created this workshop over here, to kind of let you guys know that your responsibility is going to be like, if you wanted to learn more about this, for how to structure this, for how to set this up, so this way you no longer that process prisoner and a freedom founder, then definitely take a look at my community. In this community, we have close to, at this point, 30,000 people in the community, and definitely, guys, feel free to check it out. Jump in if you want something like this to be set up for yourself. This is going to be incredible. We're setting up multiple conversational bots that transfer where you get not only an outreach from a VA who's going to be tracked and honored by CloudBot, who is constantly following up and invoking those automations, getting the information back from your VA to see how effective they are, which is absolutely another bonkers thing to even think about. Like, oh my God, oh, you want a new word? Hello again, welcome, my friend, what are you talking about? Okay, so yes, I'm talking about extremely complex topics, but yes, definitely a brand new word would be really helpful. So guys, once in a while I talk to my subscribers and get you guys in a world of all sorts of interesting things that we do together over here, make money and discuss business models, and of course do all sorts of things. But right now I am gonna get a little bit of chicken. I'll create another workshop shortly, guys.